Hi everyone, this is Koen, and this is a quick little webcam ask video. I would normally hook up my camcorder for this, but the battery is dead as of right now, and I really want to make this video quick, so we're gonna do this. I wanted to talk a little bit more about My Little Pony Generation 5, a new generation specifically, because a lot of people have been talking about this in the My Little Pony community, and I don't know. I've been thinking about doing a review of it. I had actually had been started on writing the script for the review, and the reason why I want to talk about it today is because as I was writing the script and as I was rewatching the movie to write the review, I kept noticing that I don't feel good about making a video for Generation 5. And I'll tell you why right now. Generation 5, I watched the movie. I've actually watched it twice. Or maybe even 3 times, I don't remember. But I watched it a couple times. And one of the main things that I realized as I was watching the movie is that I don't feel good watching the movie. I don't feel good in the slightest watching it. And I know for a fact that I won't feel good making a review on it. And that should probably tell you how I feel about the movie. I think that it's nice that the movie exists. We had a good first impression on who the characters are. We have a good first impression on what to expect from Generation 5. We had a good first impression on the world and how it's expanded and everything. But it's that expansion that I think is where things start to go downhill. Because everything that's surrounding the world, like the characters and the story, they all fall apart as you watch the movie. So you get a story that is entirely built around one thing, and it's the moral that the story is built around. It's a racism is bad kind of story, and I'm not gonna bother you too much with what the entire movie is about. Josh Scorcher actually made a fairly decent review on A New Generation. I'll link his video in the description because I feel like he did a much better job at explaining everything that goes on in the movie than I ever could. And I also feel like Josh has the most fair points in his review than anything that I've seen so far from other reviewers. So, a racism is bad kind of story. Okay. You know what? I can live with a racism is bad kind of story. There are numerous kinds of creatures in Equestria. I could live with a racism is bad kind of story in My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. Because this is essentially a sequel series to Friendship is Magic. It's something different from something familiar, which I think is a nice thing to do. If you want to have a sequel series, have at it. Just have fun with it. If you want to do something like that, all the power to you, right? And all the power to you if you actually enjoyed it. I personally don't enjoy it because A New Generation does not feel like a proper sequel to Friendship is Magic. Why doesn't it feel like a proper sequel to Friendship is Magic? Because it isn't. Right? A New Generation is not what I would call a sequel to Friendship is Magic. It has elements in there of Friendship is Magic that feel familiar. Like, there is Equestria, there is the main 6 who gets a nice cameo in the beginning of the movie. The main character has literal minifigures of the main 6 in the movie on her bed closet thing. I don't know what it's called in English. Doesn't matter. You get what I mean. You know, it has elements of Generation 4 Friendship is Magic in it. But then it also drops all of the continuity that Friendship is Magic had completely out of the window and just makes something out of it that does not fit in Friendship is Magic. A dictator mob, like an angry mob or some shit. A dictator is actually in the movie. Like we have a freaking dictator in Friendship is Magic, or even My Little Pony in general, right? So those are a couple of things. There are smartphones, there is social media, and all kinds of stuff like that in A New Generation. And you know what? It's not even the social media parts in and of itself that bothers me in A New Generation. They had social media related things. They had smartphones and tablets and whatnot in Generation 4.5 Pony Life. And Pony Life I personally loved because it was so crazy and over the top and it was fun, right? Pony Life was a fun, stupid series that I could just watch for fun when I need a silly little distraction. Pony Life, in my personal opinion, is great for that kind of purpose. A New Generation is trying to be a little more serious. It's trying to be more real with its story and with its characters. It isn't trying to be over the top or silly. So, and, you know, to have social media being thrown into your face like they did in the movie, like there is a, the Pegasi have a specific city that is specifically designed for, with social media in mind. There's this giant billboards that have ponies just, you can watch shows on literally huge billboards in this city, right? And it's things like that, it's often these very little tiny things that pile up in the movie, and they make it so that A New Generation is just either confused about what it wants to be, or it isn't confused as to what it wants to be, and it's completely self-aware of all of the craziness that goes on in the movie, and it just doesn't care, and it just wants to do whatever they could possibly do to get the attention from the audience. And they very well did get attention from the audience. There were a bunch of people that loved the movie when they saw it, and I know a fair few people who liked the movie. But then I also know people who don't like the movie because of the reasons that I just said. Because of the reasons that I just mentioned. Because of the many things that just don't work in My Little Pony. Like a dictator mob. You have this beautiful land that's mostly just positivity and friendship. You have some bad guys in there. You have a lot of fantasy inside of it. You have a lot of stuff that's just fascinating to look at. A world as Equestria is fascinating to me. I love Equestria for the amount of stuff that's in there. And then you put actual real world problems like evil dictators, and then you put the absolute atrocious platform that is the smartphone, and put it in a series as beautiful as My Little Pony. I'm sorry, but I don't approve of this. I don't approve of what My Little Pony is doing. I don't approve of A New Generation with all of the stuff that I personally don't think would fit and will never fit in My Little Pony. And it's one of those things that just really makes me very bitter. And while writing the script for A New Generation, I had to rewatch the movie a couple times while writing the script, just so I can really take in all of the thoughts that I had for it. And by doing so, I get more and more bitter as time goes on watching it. And I just don't want to deal with it. I don't want to make a review that just doesn't make me even remotely glad that I'm experiencing it. Because this is a franchise that I grew up with as a kid. Like, I've been watching My Little Pony way before Generation 4 was even a thing. Like, I watched a bunch of Generation 1 on DVD and on VHS when I had those as a kid. I still have the Generation 1 DVDs with me. I still have those things because I loved it. I loved friendship. I loved the first generation of My Little Pony for all of the fantasy elements that it has. And then you get a new generation that takes My Little Pony and just makes it into a ginormous mess with a bunch of elements that don't fit in its world. And I know that I'm sounding like a broken record at this point in this video, but this is something that I'm genuinely passionate about. And I'm hopeful that the actual show won't be like this. I'm hopeful that the show is at the very least trying to be like Friendship is Magic. Or even if it isn't like Friendship is Magic, I would be okay with it. Just don't put in stuff that don't fit in My Little Pony like this anymore. And just let My Little Pony be My Little Pony. That's all I'm asking for. And Hasbro, if I may, don't associate Paramount with My Little Pony anymore with your productions. Or with any production whatsoever. You have a way high quality of products, of franchises, to bring Paramount into it and botch it up. And yes, I am going to blame Paramount for all of the terrible stuff that happens in a new generation. I am going to blame Paramount for taking Friendship is Magic and botching it up. Because this is the exact kind of stuff that I would expect from Paramount Pictures. This is the exact reason why I made my initial video on My Little Pony Generation 5 and said, I'm not gonna watch it because Paramount Pictures is behind it. I hate what Paramount does with its movies, and I do not appreciate them working on this movie. And the new generation is yet another example for me as to why I don't like Paramount Pictures and why I do not support their movies whatsoever. With that being said, I'm hoping that the series is going to be somewhat decent and that they are going to leave behind what a new generation did. Just pretend like a new generation never happened. I sure as heck am gonna pretend like a new generation never happened and it never will happen because I don't want to. And when the series comes out and it turns out to be good, you will be hearing from me about it, and we'll have some kind of a Koen's Corner episode on my first impressions on A New Generation. We're gonna do a 5-episode Koen's Corner talk episode thing. Oh, wow, that was a very weird sentence, but hopefully you get what I mean here. I'm gonna be doing an entire video on what I think of the first 5 episodes of A New Generation when they come out, and we'll just have a nice discussion about it like we did in the last video that I did on a new generation. And we'll be doing a bunch of other stuff, My Little Pony related, on the PhoenixStarYT channel. As we speak, I am very busy with the Ponython videos, so that's going to be a lot of fun, hopefully. And with that, I said everything that I wanted to say. I wish you a fantastic day, and I hope to see you in the next one. Wow, that came out very badly. This is PhoenixStarYT signing out. Take care and stay passionate.